What's going on, Fuse 22? Yeah, welcome to night 2. Hey, I'm Taylor, and with me I have...
What are you doing?
What do you mean what I'm doing?
Taylor Brown changed a lot.
I know, I shaved my head.
You went all the way
beard.
bald.
I did, yeah.
And
totally.
a goatee?
Yeah. I know it can be really confusing. Hey, welcome to Space Night. Thanks everyone for dressing up. All y'all look good.
Did you see the alien?
Is this your space outfit? Oh wait, are you a space cadet tonight? There we go. We have an alien in the room. Pretty impressive.
Look.
Yep.
It's moving.
I love it. You know, I actually went to the Space Center last week.
No, you didn't.
No, for real. I got this shirt there. Yeah.
Oh.
I tried to get on a shuttle, and the next thing I know, I was being shuttled to the local jail. No, just kidding.
You could have called me.
Yeah, but hey, since tonight is Space Night, Christian and I thought we could play a space game.
Oh, we're going to launch
together.
kids with a rocket.
Yes.
Yes! Just kidding. I don't want to get you in trouble.
No, actually, what if we launched
something that flies?
Saucers.
Like a flying saucer.
Like a flying saucer, like aliens.
Well,
okay, so this is what we need to do. We're going to do guys versus girls.
Of course.
Sound good? Okay, so I need one guy and one girl.
I'm not picking.
Oh, choose the VIPs. Okay, let's choose the VIPs.
I'm not picking.
All right. Okay. Right there. Come on, yep. I can't say the Fuse shirt. Okay, we need one guy.
Hey, Taylor. I think this is your lunch bag.
It's not. Come on up on stage. Come on up. Right here. Okay, come on up. All right, tell us your name.
Jack.
Wait.
Say it one more time.
Jack Mac.
What's your alien name?
Jack.
Jack.
What's your alien name?
Scarf.
Scarf. Okay, what's your name?
Okay.
And Paige.
I dig it.
Paige? All right, what's your alien name?
I don't know.
You could say Christian.
Christian.
Oh! All right. So we need a little crowd participation here. We're doing guys versus girls, so obviously, girls, y'all are going to cheer for Paige, right? And guys, you're going to cheer for Jack, all right? But we need a little help here. You want to take that side? I'll take this side.
Don't take my colors, sir.
Oh, they're all the same color. Look at that.
Oh.
Except that one. Okay. So the guys are going to be wearing green. The girls are going to be wearing orange. So I need a girl in this.
Muscle man, come here.
Need someone second row here, right there. Put that shirt on for me. All right.
Yeah, I know you're muscle man.
I need a girl a little further back.
I follow your TikTok.
Ellie, that's you.
I follow your TikTok, buddy.
Throw that back to Ellie for me.
Go back to your seat.
All right, then I need a girl way in the back, way in the back. I can't even see.
Let's see.
All right, I see a hand right there. All right, no, give it to the girl in the back.
All the way far back. Yeah.
Right there.
Hey, right there.
I see him. Yeah, right there. Yep. Okay.
He's not looking at me.
And then
he's not looking at me. Right there, you.
We are saving the best for last.
I need you.
I need someone to deliver this to Kyle in the sound booth for me.
Here, hand that to him for me.
Throw this to Kyle for me.
Now near the back. Near the back.
Take that to Kyle on the sound booth. Take that to Kyle on the sound booth.
I need a boy on this side in the back. Raise your hand. Near the back. Adam, do me a favor.
Christian, you're so slow.
I'm meticulous, sir.
Take your time. Take your time.
Do me a favor, Adam. Pick a random boy in the second to last row on this side to wear that. So, did he explain the rules?
No, not yet.
You didn't hand him my 100.
Jeez. Oh, there's 100 back there. I messed up.
Go to Kyle. Take this to Kyle in the back for me. All the way back there. He's got to have it. All the way in the back. Did you explain the rules? So.
You may think we're having tacos tonight.
So you're going to take these. Are you right-handed or left-handed? You're going to use your right hand, and you're going to try. All right, those people who got a shirt, stand up. Only the people with the shirt. If you have the shirt, put the shirt on over what you have, and stand up so they can see you. Your goal, you on this side, you're trying to throw it to the ones in the green shirt. Obviously, you see the numbers. Those are points. So if you get it to him and he catches it, it's a 10. If he catches it, it's 25. In the back, if he catches it, it's 50. If you hit Kyle in the face, you get 100.
You're hitting the shirt.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sorry, if you hit the shirt that says green 100, you get 100. If you hit it into the sound booth, you lose 50 points. I was told that by the heads up. If it goes into the sound booth, where
Oh, dang, that's risky.
Don't ask me.
Okay, all right.
That's what I was told. So you throw to the orange, and you've got to toss to the green. Now, what, are you nervous?
I was just going to say something. So, Christian, since you and I can't add too well, why don't we have Adam keep track of the points for the guys?
I can't count
and why
past
don't we
30.
have Stacy keep track of the points for the girls?
I'm serious. I can't count past 30.
Okay.
He doesn't believe me.
So for those in the shirts, you want to catch them. You need to catch them, okay? Don't just take it to the face. You want to catch it.
So nobody try to block it. Let it try to go. But if you see a tortilla heading to your face, you can block it.
But if you catch it with your mouth, you can totally eat it. You know what?
That's true.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Are you ready?
Are you guys ready?
You get it?
On your mark.
You all can stand
Walk
up
up
as
to the
close
edge.
as you need to.
But don't fall off the stage because I'm not doing any medical stuff today. Are you ready?
All right.
3, 2, 1, go! Oh! Not supposed to hit the alien. Oh, try doing
You
it.
got a 10
nice
over
10.
here. You got a 50
10.
back there. Think frisbee.
Oh,
Think
jeez.
frisbee.
You hit her in the
You got a
face.
50 back there. You got
Sorry.
your 10 right there.
Sorry, you good? Oh.
Think of frisbee. Frisbee it.
He hit somebody in the face
Yeah.
already. I love it.
Yes.
Oh, jeez. Oh.
Yeah. You got a 10 right there.
Hey,
you got
try
a 10
to ball.
right there.
Try to ball it up and throw it. Be like a space rock. Try to ball it up and throw it to 50. Right? Ew, Taylor, stop that. Hey, he's got to throw these. What? He grabs it next.
It's holy.
He's gonna grab it.
They threw it back.
Try that one.
I don't know what happened to that one.
That was gross. Oh, it hit somebody. Taylor.
Oh, we can throw that one.
Oh man, that's aerodynamic.
happened?
Oh man. Oh, it hits. Oh, nice. You helped him and made it aerodynamic. What's the score? Anybody got 100? Oh.
How many you got, Ellie? What?
No. There's no way.
No, because that's how many there were. No, there's only 15 that were thrown.
There's no way you caught all of them.
You got
4. How'd you feel?
Oh, yeah. How many did you
I
catch?
do not
4.
know.
Okay.
You look very sad.
So how many points do the girls have?
I was scared that I hit people in the face.
Your first one did, but it was awesome. There, she's okay.
Do we
Where is
have
she?
a total?
She's good, right?
We caught 5, but they were all 10 points, so we got 50.
50.
Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen. The
good.
guys scored 50 points.
High
Let's give it
five.
up for the guys. But
That's pretty loud.
cheaters never win until they do, but I don't think you were cheating. We deducted points. So the girls scored 120 points. All right, high five. There we go. All right. Let's give it up for Paige and the girls.
Did you say? You said cheaters never win until
Do they have a prize?
Oh yeah.
Christian's got a prize for you.
By the way, Taylor, TB said he used your money for this. He didn't use the church credit card either.
He actually stole my wallet.
Well, he said he was giving you a paycheck to
Paige,
be
have
here.
some ice cream on us. Enjoy. All right, thanks,
Hey, you
guys.
still
Thank you.
did
Thank
good.
you. Go
Give
have a
us-
seat.
I can't believe you ate. We ate some of that.
What's that?
I can't believe we ate some of that.
Hey, I was still hungry from dinner. Well, hey, Fuse, we got a really nice shot.
Nice throw.
By the way. Hey, if you have a tortilla, if you could hand that to an adult, that would be great. Yes.
Good idea.
Right here, right here. Come on. We got you. Yep. Perfect, perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Any other flying saucers that need to be disposed of? My man. Perfect. Great shot. Thank
Oh my
you.
God.
Excellent. So good. Any more? You know you've wanted to hit an adult in the face with a tortilla. Good shot. Anybody else? Is that all you got? I'm not scared.
I don't want you to get sunburned.
I have
the
not
lights.
felt the sensation of hair in
I
more
know.
than 10 years.
I don't want you to get light burned.
Yep.
Light burn.
Well, hey, Fuse, as we're cleaning up these tortillas, You might just picking these up for me. Thank you, sir.
Taylor,
as
can
we're
I step
cleaning
on
up our
these?
tortillas, we got an exciting night tonight. Do you know what
Clearly.
our final game is tonight in the sanctuary downstairs?
Yes, I do. Hide and go seek.
It's even better than that.
What is it?
Well, we're gonna have dessert.
Ooh.
Everyone loves dessert.
I like
That's
dessert.
my favorite extracurricular
Me too.
activity.
Me too.
And then we have laser tag.
That's tonight?
That's tonight.
Are you playing?
Heck yeah.
Okay.
I'm actually like a professional at laser tag.
Well, here's the thing, though. Just because you like University of Kentucky basketball doesn't make you an athlete. Just because you watch it. I mean, you don't really seem like
Since
you're ready
when?
to... Doesn't mean like you're ready to go. Like, you don't look like you're...
Well, I'm
your
ready to go.
Your son said that you might get hurt.
I did some push-ups before I came.
Yeah,
so
how
I'm
many did you
ready.
get this time?
3.
Yes!
Yes.
You're almost
All
at
right.
double digits.
Sweet. Okay, we got laser tag tonight. We have Taylor Brown sharing
What?
a word with us tonight. Woo!
Nice. Whoop, whoop. Where's he at? Oh.
He's here somewhere. But before that, we have our worship band. Can we go for our
that's right.
worship band? Woo, 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 woo. They're going to be leading us tonight. And Christian's actually playing drums, so let him get in place. Guys, you all sang amazing last night. You all were phenomenal. So let me encourage you to do it again. If worship isn't your thing, if you're not so sure about it, just like what Taylor Brown said last night, be sure not to be a distraction to others. Let me encourage you to put your phones away and watch this video.
Put a tortilla.
will, and how we're children of love. And so right now, we're going to sing another song that talks about how we are who He says we are. And His words are always kind and loving. So join us as we sing that. You probably say about you, because it's probably similar to what I say about me sometimes. But God says that you are kind, and that you are loved, and that you are smart, and that there's nothing that you can't do, that He made you to be just the wonderful person that you are. And so sometimes when our thoughts can get us down, and when our thoughts can make us feel like we're not enough, God says no. He says you are good enough, and that you can do things, and that you are capable. And so those are words that you need to think about and think to remember.
something created to bear it alone. I hear your invitation to let it all go. I see it now, I'm laying it down, and I know that I need you. I run to the Father, I fall into grace. I'm done with the hiding, the reason to wait. My heart needs a surgeon, my soul needs a friend. So I run to the Father again and again and again and again. Oh, 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 oh. You saw my condition, had a plan from the start. Your son for redemption, the price for my heart. I don't have a context for that kind of love. I don't understand, I can't comprehend. All I know is I need you. I run to the Father, I fall into grace. I'm done with the hiding, no reason to wait. My heart needs a surgeon, my soul needs a friend. So I run to the Father again and again. Your sights long before my first breath, running into your arms is running to life from death. I feel this rush deep in my chest. Your mercy is calling out. Just as I am, you pull me in. I know I need you now. Run to the Father, fall into grace. I'm done with the hiding, no reason to wait. My heart needs a surgeon, my soul needs a friend. So I run to the Father again and again. I run to the Father, fall into grace. I'm done with the hiding, no reason to wait. My heart found a surgeon, my soul found a friend. So I run to the Father again and again and again and again. Oh, oh, You may be seated.
is everyone tonight? Woo! Man, I am so glad you are here for night 2 of Fuse. If it's your first night here, I want you to wave at me. Wave at me so we can welcome you. First night here, say hi. Oh yeah, let's shout out our VIPs real quick. VIPs. What up, what up? We are so glad you're here. We're so glad you're here. We're glad if it's your first time here. We're glad you're back for night 2. If you were here yesterday, make some noise. Yeah, here we go. Yeah. I love the outfits. We'll talk about all that in a little bit. But I have to say, you exceeded my expectations for your outfits. So well done. But hey, before we dive in, would you pray with me? Would you pray with me? Let's fold your hands by your heads, close your eyes. Let me pray for us. And let's dive in. God, we just sang a beautiful song about running into your arms. And that how we can be done with the hiding and we can just be real. And God, I pray tonight that the words that we just sang to you would become a reality for us right here in these next few minutes. That we would be able to run into your arms. That all the walls that we've built up, all the things that we have trying to keep us back, all the fears we have, all the worries we have, that we'd be able to run to you and bring it to you. God, it's in your amazing name we pray. Amen. So there was a news a couple weeks ago that really made a huge impact on the art world. I don't know if you heard about this. So Vincent Van Gogh, you've heard of Van Gogh, raise your hand. Don't make it, just wave at me if you've heard of Van Gogh. Okay, popular artist, right? You probably read about him, heard about him. So Van Gogh, there's a famous painting, one of his famous paintings. It's called Head of a Peasant Woman. And it was going through an X-ray machine for an upcoming exhibition that it was going to be at. And what the people running the X-ray machine found blew their minds. See, they discovered that on the back, hidden within this painting, hidden within layers of cardboard, layers of glue, was a self-portrait of Van Gogh himself. You can see the picture right here. So when they put this through the X-ray machine, they didn't just see the painting of the head of the peasant woman, they saw a self-portrait of Van Gogh. You can sort of see it on the monitor right there. And what they discovered is that this was probably over 150 years old. This self-portrait that had not been known about, never been discovered before, because it was under layer upon layer upon layer upon layer of glue and cardboard. And Van Gogh would often reuse canvases. That was sort of his thing. And so people believe that he painted his self-portrait on one side, flipped it over, and then painted what is now famously known as Head of the Peasant Woman on the other side. And there's this ironic, complex, beautiful thing about this. And I think it's this, that for years, others saw something different while Van Gogh's true self was hidden underneath that painting. And it took a power greater than the human eye to discover it. And I think that same idea is true about us and about God. See, last night we talked about this big idea. It'll be on the screen. You remember Taylor Floyd talking about it, that God has a real love for you. God has a real what for you? A real love for you. And tonight, we're going to take this one level deeper. Yes, God has a real love for you, but we're going to talk about something a little deeper, go like the next step in, if you will. And it starts with this idea. Are you ready? God sees the real you. God sees the real you. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be real with you talking about this. When we see that statement up there, we have maybe a few different types of reactions that go through our head. I'm going to be honest with you. Some of us, we're afraid of that very statement. Like, he sees everything. Like, everything. Like, everything. Yes, God sees the real you. And this freaks us out. Maybe it leaves us feeling a little paranoid. Maybe you've had somebody say that statement to you as like almost a way to intimidate or a threat. Like, you better act right because God sees everything. Now, I'm like hitting some of your hearts right now. You're like, oh no. So maybe if you're not afraid, maybe you're this. Maybe you're creeped out. Like maybe you're like, well, God sees some things that like no one else should see. Like that's a little creepy. It's okay. We'll keep going. But maybe you don't feel afraid. Maybe you don't feel creeped out. Maybe you feel this. Maybe hearing that statement of God sees the real you, you feel shame. Because maybe you think that there's nothing that anybody else knows about. Something you'd be afraid if mom, grandma, auntie, whoever found out about it. But maybe you feel shame because it's God knows about it. It's that part of you, that thing of you that you try to hide. And here's the deal. Here's what comes with all of these reactions. Or whether we're afraid, creeped out, shameful, whether that statement, God sees the real you, freaks us out. Here's why it freaks us out. Because we are afraid of the unknown reaction from God for what he sees. We're afraid of what God's going to say, what God's going to do, what God's going to think of us when he sees the real us. It's that same feeling you get when you email your teacher about trying to redo or readjust a final grade for a class and you don't know what their reply is going to be. It's like that feeling that you get when you submit a resume or you go to a job interview and you're waiting for them to call you back. It's that same feeling you get in relationships when you you have that I call it the DTR, the define the moment relationship, and you just say it, everything, and you're waiting for them to text back or to snap back or whatever it is. When I was in middle or high school and those moments would happen, mostly because the DTR moments in middle and high school didn't go well for me. I would take my phone. Do any of you else do this? I would take my phone after I would send something, and I would chuck it across the room because I didn't even want the phone in my hand when someone would reply. Yeah, you can relate. Yeah, you've been there. You've been there. But I think the same is true when it comes to God. We ask this question, what does God think of me? How will God react when he sees the real me? And maybe you've had some prior experience, some prior things happen that fuels this. Maybe you've had a bad experience where you've opened up to a friend. You've shared a part of you with a friend that you thought you could trust, and they broke your trust by reacting negatively, or they shared it with someone else. Maybe you've even been to a church where you shared something and expecting love and encouragement in the midst of your struggle, you were faced with rejection or shame. And I can tell you, while that's not specifically my story, I can tell you what is part of my story. Going through these moments where you just build your walls really high up, and you build your guard up, and you sort of go into hiding where nobody is ever going to know the real you. That was a part of my story for a really long time. There were things that I had picked up, things that result of family trauma that I had when I was in middle school, when I was your age. Things that I picked up along the way that were unhealthy, not good, things that would damage my soul and damage my self-esteem and damage my emotions regularly. And I picked up these things, and what happened is I would be so afraid of what anyone would say if they knew about these things. And so what I did is I built my walls high. I kept my guard up. And I was determined to never let anybody see the real me. Some people might get close. You let some people closer in than others, but nobody would ever know the real me. And for the longest time, I would try to even deflect that and hide that from God. That was my story for a long time. And so this statement of God sees the real you, it freaked me out too. But I have good news for you tonight. We can finish that statement. That statement's an incomplete statement of God sees the real you. And we can finish that thought tonight, and that's what we're going to do together. And we're going to look at a story of Jesus to help us with this. As Taylor shared last night, Jesus is fully God and fully human. He came to the earth, he moved into the neighborhood, as one translation of the Bible puts it. And he came on this earth, and while he was on this earth, fully God, fully human, he did a lot of things. He would teach and preach. He would heal people. He would mentor. He would do a lot of things. And we're going to look at a story of Jesus' encounter with two different people. It's two different encounters that happen sort of at at the same time. But there's similar themes to these stories that we can pick up on, especially when it comes to what others saw versus what Jesus saw. Kind of like Van Gogh's painting, where other people saw one thing, but Jesus saw something else. And so let's look at how this starts. We're going to read a little bit, and then I'll break it down. We're going to read a little bit and break it down. Okay, that's how I like to do this. If you're with me, say, oh yeah. Oh, yeah. There we go. All right, let's go. It says, now when Jesus returned, a crowd welcomed him, for they were all expecting him. Then a man named Jairus, a synagogue leader, came and fell at Jesus' feet, pleading with him to come to his house because his only daughter, a girl of about 12, was dying. Let that sink in for a second. As Jesus was on his way, the crowds almost crushed him. And a woman was there who had been subject to bleeding for 12 years, but no one could heal her. She came up behind him and touched the edge of his cloak, and immediately her bleeding stopped. So let's pause right here. So Jesus is on his way to a man named Jairus' house. And Jairus comes to Jesus and pleads with him that his daughter, is 12 years old, is dying. And Jairus is pleading with Jesus to come heal his daughter. And so Jesus is on his way there when there's a woman, it says, who touches his cloak in the middle of a crowd. So let's talk about this for a second. You know, like when you go to Busch Gardens or Disney World or Universal, wherever it is, or even a sports game in an arena, like, you know the crowds, right? Like, it's like shoulder to shoulder sometimes. You can barely turn, you can barely move. Like, imagine that crowd is the crowd that Jesus is walking in. It's a big crowd. And crawling, I imagine, or trying to just get to him in the midst of this crowd is this woman who's sick. She's been bleeding for 12 years and just wants to touch the cloak of Jesus. Notice something here. Isn't it interesting that she doesn't want to have a conversation with him? She just wants to touch his cloak. And I don't think that's from a place of being greedy or trying to get something. Here's where I think that comes from. Here's my guess. If you put on like the Taylor Interpreter version of the Bible. Are you ready? That's just scary sometimes, but here we go. Here's my guess of why this woman just wanted to touch his cloak. Because she had been seen and rejected before. See, in those times, if you had an ailment, if you were sick, like this woman was, where you were bleeding, you would have to declare yourself unclean. That's what you were called. And that meant a lot of different things. It meant a lot of things, like, for example, she would have to stay isolated. She couldn't necessarily be around others. She couldn't go the places that other people were free to go. She also had to declare herself when someone was coming by, where the practice was you'd have to say, unclean, and declare yourself as that. Imagine for 12 years having to do that. This woman that the crowd saw, she was considered an outcast, isolated, a reject, not the norm. And so I can only imagine what her thought was of what Jesus would also say to her. But she knew about the power found in God. And so she wanted to touch his cloak, and she was healed. Now, what happens next? Well, let's look. Who touched me? Jesus asked. When they all denied it, Peter said, Master, the people are crowding and pressing against you. This is like Peter's way of going, Jesus, there's a lot of people here. People are bumping into you. It's okay. But Jesus said, someone touched me. I know that power has gone out from me. Then the woman, seeing that she could not go unnoticed, came trembling. Say trembling. Came trembling and fell at his feet. In the presence of all the people, she told why she had touched him and how she had been instantly healed. So even in the Disney World crowd, Jesus knew that someone had touched him and that power had gone out from him, and he had healed this woman. And then there's this unknown moment. Remember I talked about those unknown moments for us, like when we email the professor or the teacher, or we DTR, or we submit the job resume. This was that unknown moment where this woman, who was just trying to get healed and go unnoticed and go about her day, where she would have to face what God would say, what God in the flesh would say. And so trembling, she comes to Jesus and she says, what happened? She probably told him, I've been bleeding for 12 years and no one could help me. And I heard about you. And I just wanted to see what would happen if I could touch you and if you could heal me. And in this moment of tension, in this moment of unknown, in this moment of what would Jesus say, how would God react, what would he think of me, here's what Jesus said to her. He said, daughter, your faith has healed you. Go in peace. When the crowd saw an outcast, unclean, sick, rejected, forgotten, overlooked, Jesus saw a daughter. Jesus saw an identity of love onto this woman. You know what daughter is? Daughter is love. Daughter is belonging. Daughter is saying, you are mine and I love you. The crowd saw something else, but Jesus saw daughter. He offered her love when he saw the real her. Friends, the same is true for you today. That God sees the real you and offers radical love. God sees the real you and offers radical love. The love that he offered this woman, it was radical. It was, many people probably disagreed. It was beyond the norm. It was considered not right, out of practice, out of custom, whatever it was. But he offered her a radical love, and he does the same to you. Nothing in your life that you're trying to hide from others and hide from God, nothing will scare him away. Nothing will deter him. Nothing will chase him off. He loves you, even when it seems radical. He meets you with an unending, unrivaled, radical love. But it gets even better. The story doesn't just end there. Remember what happened to Jairus, what happened to his daughter. Let's keep reading. While Jesus was still speaking, someone came from the house of Jairus, the synagogue leader. "Your daughter is dead," he said. "Don't bother the teacher anymore." Hearing this, Jesus said to Jairus, "Don't be afraid. Just believe, and she will be healed." When he arrived at the house of Jairus, he did not let anyone go in with him except Peter, John, and James, and the child's father and mother. Meanwhile, all the people were wailing and mourning for her. "Stop wailing," Jesus said. "She is not dead, but asleep." They laughed at him, knowing that she was dead. So everyone tells Jesus that Jairus' daughter has died. But Jesus twice says, "Oh no, that's not the case." He tells Jairus, don't worry, just believe and she'll be healed." And then when he says to the crowd that she's not dead but asleep, they laughed at him. That's how ridiculous they thought Jesus was in that moment. They literally like laughed at him, laughed at his face, at what he was saying. And I want you to catch this. See, the crowd and others saw death, which is a final destination. Jesus said, she's just sleeping, which is a temporary state. Say that one more time. Jesus saw a temporary state of sleeping. The crowd saw death, which is final, no coming back. But Jesus said, this is something I can overcome. And so Jesus, in the midst of a crowd thinking he's ridiculous, has the best watch this moment ever. But he took her by the hand and said, "My child, get up." Her spirit returned, and at once she stood up. Then Jesus told them to give her something to eat. See, again, the crowd saw fear, death, despair, hopelessness, and final destination. And Jesus saw something else. Jesus saw new life. Jesus saw new life, to raise dead things back to life. And here's more good news for you today. God sees the real you and offers radical love that leads to new life. That God sees the real you, but he offers you a radical love that leads to new life. See, God offers us something new, something that's alive, something that can take our hopelessness and our despair and our death and things we think are permanent and bring it back to life. That's the power of God. That's the power of God that's in this place and in you and available to you now. You can experience new life too. New life now and new life later. So what's next? If that statement is true, and you maybe have come around, you're like, okay, I think that might be true for me, but so what? Maybe it is true that God sees the real me, he offers love and new life, but what's next? Well, I want to invite you to do two things tonight. I want you to take me up on these two offers, these two invitations to do a couple things. The first is this I want to invite you to listen to God's radical love for you. I want to invite you to just listen for God's radical love for you. Can I get honest with you? Can I get real with you for a second, since this whole thing is real? There's some of us where we can't listen to a God of radical love because we're surrounded by so many other things in our life that are just filled with negativity and hate. Where some of you, you're hanging out with people that don't speak life into you and build you up. You're hanging out with people that just constantly rag on you and tear you down. There's some of you where you're just scrolling through pictures and posts and profiles of nothing but things that just are always the worst and speak down, and nothing that speaks life. Some of you live in places and neighborhoods where it's always the worst, or people always think the worst. Some of you might even have an inner critic, a voice inside your head. This is me I'm talking to right now. Let me put up the mirror. Some of you have an inner critic in your head that always tries to tear you down at every moment. Every mistake you make, you have an inner critic that just latches onto that. See, some of us, we're surrounded by so many negative things that we haven't even began to listen for the God of radical love. We can't even begin to think what it is that he might say about us. Maybe for you it's been hours, days, months, years before you've ever considered that someone said something loving to you, that God might have a different opinion about you than what others would say. See, I lived this same thing too. I told you earlier about me trying to hide the real me from everyone else and even from God. And what happened to me about a year ago, or a little over a year ago now, probably a year and a half ago, is I discovered this amazing thing, that I am God's beloved. That when we talk about God loving you and me, that guess what? It's actually true. And I had this moment one day where I was reading a book. It's a fantastic book. It's called Abba's Child, Abba's Father. And so it talks about how we are the children of God, that I was a child of God, and that I was God's beloved. And I was reading this book, and I began to read these things and listen to these things, and it pierced a part of my heart and my soul that hadn't been touched ever. And so I'm reading this book on my porch, and I began to think of this song, and there's lyrics. It's called Lean Back. And it talks about leaning back into the loving arms of God and resting in a loving Father and staying there until it sinks in. And so on my porch, I'm reading this book and listening to this song. And friends, something broke in me that day. And I just began to cry. I just sat on my porch, sat on my lanai, and went, God, I'm done hiding. I'm done trying to build walls up. I'm done trying to keep my guard up. I need you. And I'm offering the real me to you. And friends, my life is by no means perfect. My wife will say amen to that. But I can tell you that moment marked a place in my life where I began to tear those walls I'd built high. I began to tear them down. And that guard I kept up really high, I began to lower it and lower it and lower it. And I began to embrace the love that God has for me and see him in that same way. Here's what I want to, before I move on to the next thing, I want to encourage you with this. If you're sitting here and you're saying, I know that God doesn't love me, I haven't heard him say anything to me, I just want to remind you that just because you haven't heard it doesn't mean that God stopped talking. Just because you haven't heard it, God is still talking to you. He's still reaching after you. He still loves you, and he wants you to know that you're his beloved too. You are son or daughter to him. So here's what I want to do before we move on. I got one more thing I'm going to talk about, but right now, I want you to consider this question. It's on the screen. Consider it in these quiet moments. It's this. It's, what is the God of radical love saying about me right now? Don't speak. Don't speak. If you're on your phone, get off your phone for just 1 minute, because I don't want you to miss this, because this could be that moment for you like it was for me. Just think about that question. What is the God of radical love saying about me right now? If you need to close your eyes and think about that question, do it. In the quiet of this moment, what is the God of radical love saying about you right now? Is it that you're enough? That you're chosen? That you're worthy? That you're beautiful? That you're smart? That you're kind? That you're not a failure? That you're not a mistake? That you're bigger than your past? What is the God of radical love saying to you right now? And as you think about that, as you listen for what it is that God lays on your heart or in your mind, I want you to do this too. I don't want you to just listen for God's radical love. I want you to accept God's gift of new life. I want you to accept God's gift of new life. There are parts of your lives that might feel dead and broken and irreversible. But I want to let you know that God offers new life to us now and later. He offers us new life now, just like we saw with the bleeding woman who is no longer an outcast or unclean. He offers new life now like he did with Jairus' daughter, literally raising dead things to life. But he also offers us new life later so that we might live forever in relationship with God. Jesus actually told this to someone who asked a question about new life. This is from the Gospel of John, Jesus' words. He says this. He said, "For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish but have eternal" what? Life. For God did not send his Son into the world to condemn the world, but to save the world through him. You might be like, save the world from what? Well, I want to tell you, we live in a pretty imperfect, broken world. I don't think you're that's any mystery to you. And that's a result of what the Bible calls sin. That's a fancy church word for the ways that we've missed the mark that God set for our life. And sin is not of God. And so all the evil, all the things that are a result of sin, it causes us to live separated from God. But God loves us and loves you and loves his people so much that he sent a way for us to live together with him again, now and later. And it's Jesus. That's why Jesus, you might have heard the story. If you're brand new to church, I'm glad you're here. And you might have heard the story before about Jesus dying on a cross and rising again. You might have been like, what's that all about? Well, this is what that's all about. Jesus did that so that by faith, which is just saying yes to him, you and me and anyone else by faith can live forever and have new life with God now and later. That's what saying yes is. It's saying yes to radical love. It's saying yes to new life found in Jesus. So I want to invite the band to come up here, and here's what I want to invite you to do. Those of us in our seats. I want to give you the chance right now, if you've never done this before, to say yes to Jesus, to say yes to new life, to say yes to this radical love. And maybe there's some of us here who've said yes, but we need to say yes again. Maybe life's been a little crazy. We've said yes before. Things have gotten off the tracks, and we just need a moment to say yes again. And so in just a moment, I'm gonna say a prayer. And it's not the fancy words of the prayer that do anything, but it's the posture of our heart as we say them. So I want to invite you, just bow your heads, close your eyes for just a second. And if you need to say yes or yes again, I want to invite you to repeat this after me. You can say it aloud, or you can say it in your heart. Which is say, God, I need you. I admit that I have sinned and missed the mark you set for me. I believe that I cannot save myself, but Jesus can. I welcome him into my heart and say yes to him. I declare Jesus as my Lord and Savior. Thank you for saving me. Amen. So here's what I want to invite you to do. Our band is gonna lead us in one more song, and it's the song that I mentioned. It's the song "Lean Back," and it's a beautiful song that talks about this safety in God's arms and the love that you find. And while you're singing, while they're leading us, under your seats there should be a pen and a yellow card. It looks like this. Looks like this. Keep your mouths closed. Keep your mouths closed, but just wave the card at me when you got it. Wave the card at me when you got it. So I see you got it. Okay, you found it. Okay, you can put it down. You can put it down. So here's what I want to invite you to do. We want to try to make this really big group a small group. And so here's how we're going to do it. If you prayed that prayer and you said yes for the first time, I want you to check that top box. If you prayed that prayer and you're saying yes again, I want you to check that second box. And no matter what you prayed, maybe you can check more than one box, so it's not like a one thing. There's a spot there that says, please pray for me, where you can write down any prayer request that we can just be in prayer for. And then at the bottom, there's a spot for your name and your phone and email address. Here's what I want to say. This card is totally up to you if you fill it out and how much you fill out. But here's why we put all this stuff, because we want to know if you said yes, and we want to follow up with you. Like I said, we want to make this large group small. And so I want to invite you to fill this out. Put your name and phone number and email. You don't have to. If you want to have an anonymous prayer request, that's totally fine too. No pressure. But if you said yes, we would love for you to put your name and your email and your phone number, because we would love to get in contact with you. We'd love to follow up with you. We'd love to be able to celebrate with you and give you some next steps. So as you make your way out, not yet, we're not leaving yet. We got a couple things to do. But as you make your way out in a little bit, we're going to have bins by the doors that you're just going to drop your card in. And then over the next couple weeks, we're going to be following up with you, okay? So let me pray for us. Our band's going to lead us. You can keep filling out your card. Fill out your card if you need to. Don't worry. Let me pray. God, thank you for the gift of your radical love. Thank you for the gift of new life. God, some of us, we walked in this place and we felt like we were out of options. Based on what life at home's been like, life at school coming up, life at our job, life about the future, life about our past. God, some of us, we walked in here and we felt like the woman that was just trying to just touch the cloak of Jesus. And God, I pray that tonight, that just like this woman experienced, that as we reached out and touched your cloak for healing, God, that my friends here, that they experienced a radical love that leads to new life. God, thank you for your love that's unending. Thank you for your grace that's undeserved. And God, thank you that we get to live in relationship with you now and later. It's in your amazing name we pray. Amen. So friends, I invite you to keep hanging on to your cards, but would you stand? Our worship team's going to lead us, and then we'll talk about what's next, okay? We want to invite you to, remember, respect those around you. If you're still filling out your card, you can, but mouths closed unless you're singing.
You will never leave. Your love sustaining me
Thanks, ma'am.
before I even knew what love was. You brought me here to rest and given me space to breathe. So I'll stay still until it sinks in. Yes. And I will lean back in the loving arms of a beautiful Father.
right, can we thank God for our worship team tonight? Let's thank them. Yeah. Woo! All right, y'all can have a seat. Y'all can have a seat for just a minute. Quick few reminders. Can we shout out, actually, speaking of shout outs, we're going to shout out our worship team. Can we shout out our VIPs one more time? Our VIP section? Yeah. VIPs. Great job. But I want to let you know, VIP, it's not just tonight, it's also tomorrow night, too. Now, here's the deal. VIPs, unfortunately, this doesn't mean that you can return there because you already brought a friend. It means that anyone who brings a friend again tomorrow night will get their turn in VIP. Sound good? So bring friends, invite somebody, bring them with you. We would love to see them and get to meet them. Tomorrow night, just a reminder, tomorrow night, we have luau night. Oh yeah, get your Hawaiian shirts ready. We're going to have inflatables. We're going to have the wrecking ball, an obstacle course, a Velcro wall, all kinds of fun stuff in the sanctuary. And we're going to have Kona Ice for sale. For sale. Which means that you have to bring what? Money, correct. Kona Ice for sale. Bring money. Now, I know that we have lots of fun at Fuse. Lots of stuff going on. Amazing. Tons of fun. Fantastic. But I want to let you know about something really cool coming up in August after school starts back. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to talk about school. I apologize. We'll forget about that. Yeah. Sorry. But this will hopefully make you feel better about school starting back up because we are doing something. We're doing something really cool. We're doing something that we're really excited about. We are changing the way we do Revolution and youth coming up. And here's what it is. We're going to be having Revolution middle school nights. Middle schoolers, where are you at? And we're going to be having Revolution high school nights. High schoolers, where are you at? Yeah. We're going to be splitting up for our weekly meetings. Middle school will meet on Tuesday. High school meets on Wednesday. And we would love to see you there. Tomorrow night, say tomorrow night. You're going to get out. You're going to go home with our entire calendar for everything we're doing in the fall. And we got a bunch of fun stuff planned. This is a big part of it. Mark your calendar for August 16th if you're a middle schooler, August 17th if you're a high schooler. We would love to see you join us weekly for Revolution. We're super excited about some cool stuff we're going to get to do, some exciting stuff now that we're splitting up, doing Revolution Middle School, Revolution High. We're so excited for that. But let's talk about tonight. Who's ready to talk about tonight? I am too. So, we have to give, first of all, we have to give prizes for best dress. Where's Christian at? Christian, where are you? Christian, come here. You don't win best dress.
Oh, I'm going to say no.
No, you know, Amia, do you want to grab the gift cards? Toss them to me. So we have two winners tonight. I've been talking with my esteemed panel of judges. Esteemed.
That's talking about me.
You're esteemed.
Oh, okay.
All right. And we have two winners tonight. John, where is the winner? Oh, right here. So our first winner, come on up here. Make some noise. For winner number one, I don't have a mic, or I would tell you to scream, or I would tell you to tell the crowd your name, but go ahead and scream to the crowd your name.
Jada.
Everyone say, congrats, Jada! So Jada, go ahead, choose. You got some choices. And I have to give one more prize for the alien. Right here. How quick will that inflate? Does it inflate pretty quick?
Hey, ask her if she can pretend like it's running and dragging.
Yeah, I need you to stand right there.
Inflate it.
I need you to inflate the costume, and I need you to act like you're being abducted by an alien running this way.
Or else I'm going to use these gift cards.
Okay? Yeah. So while you're doing that, go ahead and inflate it. I'll keep talking so it's not weird.
I used all these.
So we are so excited for laser tag coming up in just a second. Now, let me explain real quick what's going to happen. Because believe it or not, all 150 of us can't go play laser tag all at once. Shocking. There's not that many laser guns. So here's what we're going to do. In just a moment, not right now, in just a moment, high schoolers are going to go down and go first. Middle school, you're going to hang out up here for a little bit. Let high schoolers go, and then you'll get your turn to play, okay? I will explain further instructions in just a second, but are you ready? Are you ready? All right, I need a drum roll from the crowd. Oh, you're going to miss it. Run! funniest thing ever. All right, give it up for Bree. Give it up for Bree.
Wait. Can she go backwards?
Oh, there you go. That's amazing. Bree, what do you want? We got Starbucks, Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A, good choice. All right, there you go. Give it up for Bree. Give it up for Bree. Yeah. We will have best dressed for luau night too, by the way. We will have best dressed for luau.
Hey,
Yeah.
Are you and I gonna dress up?
We can dress up. All I got is shirts.
Oh, nice.
We'll look at them in a second. So, all right, right now, here's what I need you to do. When you get to laser tag, let me explain this very carefully. If you still need to fill out a waiver, find one of the adults downstairs, find an iPad or a laptop and fill it out. When you get into the laser tag arena in the sanctuary, listen carefully. There is a leader there from the company that's coming to do this. He is going to explain all the rules and all how to play. So you need to be on your best behavior for him. Raise your right hand. Here we go. One more time. Raise your right hand. This looks right for you. Right hand up. Right hand up. Say, I promise to be kind to the laser tag people. There you go. Put your hand down. Thank you. So at this time, I need high schoolers to grab your card. If you filled it out, grab your card. Drop it with Robin and Jason right here, and head down to the sanctuary for laser tag. High school only. Middle school, stay in your seat. Middle school, stay in your seat. High school, drop your cards in the buckets. Head downstairs for laser tag. That includes completed 8th graders. Completed 8th graders, you are with high school. Completed 8th graders with high school.
I never finished. Thank you. You're so awesome, Wyatt. You make me smile. When I grow up, I want to be like you. It's been nice not having to work for the last week, and I haven't been able to get off. I've been off 2 weeks. I need a break.
Probably still into it. Okay. So we still have our two singers.
Start on each text, or if you already have one, add me to it. Yeah. That way I can see when you guys meet and stuff. I don't think we're having a chance.
All right, now middle schoolers, make some noise. Say, yeah.